Picture this. It's 1976, the bicentennial year. America is celebrating its 200th birthday, and the music world is exploding with creativity. From the infectious disco beats that got everyone moving to the complex rock masterpieces that defined a generation. This was the year that gave us some of the most unforgettable songs ever recorded. Today, we're counting down 10 legendary tracks from 1976 you must hear again. Number 10. More, More, More by Andrea True, Connection. Andrea True Connection brought pure disco energy to 1976 with this relentless dance floor anthem. The song's driving four-on-the-floor beat and True's sultry vocals created something that was impossible to ignore in clubs across America. What made this track special was its unashamed embrace of disco excess. It was loud, proud, and designed to make people move. The production was state-of-the-art for its time, with layered synthesizers and a rhythm section that hit like a sledgehammer. True, who had an unusual background in adult films, proved that talent could emerge from the most unexpected places. The song climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a defining moment in disco's rise to mainstream dominance. The track's success opened doors for other disco artists and helped establish the sound that would dominate dance floors for the rest of the decade. It's the kind of song that reminds you why disco was such a powerful cultural force. When it worked, it really worked.
But if you want to know how I really feel.
Number 9. Lowdown by Boz Scaggs.
Baby's in the run around, hanging with the crowd, putting your...
Boz Scaggs found his groove in 1976 with this sophisticated blend of rock, soul, and jazz that perfectly captured the smooth sounds emerging from the West Coast. The song's relaxed tempo and intricate arrangement showed that rock music could be both complex and accessible. David Page's keyboard work provides the perfect foundation for Scaggs' smooth vocal delivery. The track spent 2 weeks at number 3 and helped establish Scaggs as a major solo artist after years of working in various bands. What makes Lowdown special is its effortless cool. It never tries too hard, but every element is precisely crafted. The guitar work, the rhythm section, and those distinctive backing vocals all work together to create something that feels both contemporary and timeless. This song influenced countless smooth rock and jazz fusion artists who followed. It proved that audiences were hungry for music that was sophisticated without being pretentious. And it helped define what adult contemporary music could sound like in the mid-70s.
Put your money on the table and drive it off the line.
Number 8. Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry. From the bars of Ohio came one of the most infectious funk rock hybrids ever recorded. Wild Cherry, led by Rob Parisi, created a song that perfectly captured the moment when rock bands realized they needed to get people dancing. The story behind the song is compelling. Parisi was inspired by an African-American audience member who shouted for his predominantly white rock band to play some funky music. The song hit number 1 in September 1976 and stayed there, becoming the soundtrack to countless parties and dance floors. That opening guitar riff is instantly recognizable, and the horn section gives it a punch that cuts through any crowd noise. It's the kind of song that makes you move whether you want to or not.
Could I be so foolish? How could I?
What's remarkable is how naturally the song blends rock guitar with funk rhythms. This wasn't forced or contrived. It was a genuine expression of how music was evolving in the mid-70s. The barriers between genres were breaking down, and songs like this showed what was possible when musicians stopped worrying about categories and focused on groove.
We're getting shaky.
Number 7. Dancing Queen by Abba Abba's disco masterpiece was officially released in August 1976 and became their biggest international hit. The song perfectly captures the joy and freedom of the disco era, with its irresistible melody and sophisticated production. What makes Dancing Queen special is how it combines European pop sensibilities with American disco rhythms.
Getting in the swing, you come to me for a thrill.
The track was first performed on Swedish television in June 1976 during the wedding celebrations of King Carl XVI Gustaf, but it was the August release that conquered the world. The interplay between Agnetha and Frida's vocals, combined with Benny and Björn's masterful songwriting, created something that felt both familiar and completely fresh.
You are the dancing queen.
The song's success was unprecedented for a Swedish group. It hit #1 in multiple countries and became ABBA's only American chart topper. The production is lush without being overwhelming, and that distinctive ABBA harmony blend cuts through the decades. It proved that great pop music could come from anywhere and connect with audiences worldwide. Number 6. Kiss and Say Goodbye by the Manhattans.
I'm gonna miss you. I know.
Sometimes the most beautiful songs come from the most painful experiences. The Manhattans created a masterpiece of sophisticated soul with this heartbreaking ballad about the end of a relationship. The orchestration is elegant, the vocals are perfectly controlled, and the emotion feels completely genuine.
I had to meet you here today.
Gerald Alston's lead vocal performance is nothing short of masterful. He conveys heartbreak without melodrama, sophistication, without coldness. The way the song builds from intimate confession to soaring emotional climax shows a band at the absolute peak of their powers. It spent 2 weeks at #1 and became a template for how to make a breakup song that doesn't wallow in self-pity.
Please, darling, don't you cry.
The song's impact extended far beyond the charts. It became a staple of quiet storm radio and influenced countless R&B ballads that followed. The Manhattans proved that in an era of increasing musical complexity, sometimes the most powerful approach is elegant simplicity combined with perfect execution.
It's gonna hurt me, I can't lie.
Number 5. Disco Lady by Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor took his deep Southern soul voice and pointed it straight at the dance floor with spectacular results. Disco Lady became the first single to be certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. And it's easy to understand why. The groove is absolutely irresistible, Taylor's vocal performance is commanding, and the production perfectly captures the excitement of the disco explosion. This wasn't just a song, it was a cultural moment. Taylor, who had made his name in traditional soul music, showed how established artists could embrace new sounds without losing their identity. The song spent 4 weeks at #1 and opened doors for other soul artists to explore disco. The track's influence extended beyond disco into funk and R&B. That rhythmic foundation, the strategic use of strings, and Taylor's confident vocal delivery created a template that countless artists would follow. It's a perfect example of how the best music of 1976 managed to be both of its moment and timeless. Number 4. Love Machine, Part 1 by The Miracles. The Miracles proved they could thrive in the post-Smokey Robinson era with this infectious dance track. Love Machine is pure Motown evolution, taking the classic Detroit sound and updating it for the disco age. The result is a song that's both familiar and fresh, with a groove that's impossible to resist. The production is crisp and modern, but those classic Miracles harmonies anchor it firmly in the group's legendary tradition. The interplay between the lead vocals and the background singers creates a sense of joyful celebration that's infectious. It spent a week at #1 and reminded everyone why the Miracles had been one of Motown's most consistent hitmakers. What's remarkable about this track is how it manages to sound both polished and spontaneous. The arrangement is sophisticated, but the performance feels natural and unforced. It's the sound of musicians who understand their craft completely and aren't afraid to have fun with it. Number 3. Afternoon Delight by Starland Vocal Band.
Gonna grab some afternoon delight.
Some songs become cultural phenomena for reasons that have nothing to do with their original intent. Starland Vocal Band created what they thought was a gentle country rock ballad, but audiences heard something else entirely. The song's playful suggestiveness wasn't particularly subtle, and the public embraced both the music and the innuendo.
My motto's always been when it's right while waiting.
The vocal harmonies are genuinely beautiful, with a sweetness that contrasts amusingly with the song's adult themes. The acoustic guitar work is delicate and precise, and the overall production has a warmth that makes the song feel intimate despite its massive commercial success. It hit number 1 and became a defining song of the summer of 1976.
Everything's a little clearer in the light of day.
The group won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, and the song became a karaoke favorite that endures to this day. It's a perfect example of how sometimes the most unexpected songs capture the public imagination in ways no one could have predicted.
Afternoon delight.
Number 2. Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John and Kiki D. When two powerhouse vocalists come together on the right song, magic happens. Elton John and Kiki D created a joyful duet that showcased both artists at their absolute best. The song was written under pseudonyms, Elton as Ann Orson and Bernie Taupin as Carte Blanche, perhaps to see if they could create a hit without the weight of their famous names.
When I was down,
I was your clown.
The chemistry between the two singers is undeniable. Their voices complement each other perfectly, and their obvious enjoyment of the material comes through in every note. The arrangement is energetic without being overwhelming, and that piano-driven foundation gives the song a timeless quality that transcends any particular musical era.
so don't misunderstand me.
The song spent 4 weeks at number 1 and became one of Elton John's most beloved hits. It proved that even established superstars could surprise audiences with fresh approaches to familiar formats. The playful interaction between the two singers makes this feel like a celebration, rather than just another love song. Number 1. Hotel California by Eagles, released in December 1976.
On a dark desert highway, wind in my
Hotel California stands as one of rock music's most enigmatic and compelling masterpieces. The Eagles created something that was both musically sophisticated and deeply mysterious, with lyrics that have sparked decades of interpretation and debate. The song's intricate guitar work, particularly those dueling lead guitars in the extended outro, set a new standard for rock craftsmanship.
happy dance in the courtyard, sweet.
The recording process itself was a testament to the band's perfectionism. Those famous guitar solos by Don Felder and Joe Walsh weren't just improvised, they were carefully crafted over multiple sessions, with each note serving the song's dramatic arc. The interplay between the two guitars creates a conversation that builds tension and releases it in waves, making the 6.5-minute runtime feel necessary rather than indulgent. Don Henley's vocals perfectly capture the song's sense of unease and fascination, while the band's tight harmonies add layers of complexity to an already rich arrangement. The production is pristine without sacrificing the song's edge, and every instrument has its place in the carefully constructed sonic landscape. Bill Shimchick's production captures every nuance while maintaining the song's mysterious atmosphere.
You can never leave.
The song's structure defies conventional pop wisdom. It builds slowly, taking its time to establish mood and character before exploding into that unforgettable guitar showcase. The tempo changes, the dynamic shifts, and the way silence is used as effectively as sound. All of these elements work together to create something that feels more like a short film than a typical rock song.
Happy dance in the courtyard, sweet summer.
What makes Hotel California truly special, is how it manages to be both a product of its time and completely timeless. It captures the excess and uncertainty of the mid-70s, that sense of the American dream turning dark at the edges, while creating something that feels mythic and universal. The song reached #1 and became the centerpiece of an album that defined what rock music could achieve when ambition met execution.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
The cultural impact was immediate and lasting. Radio stations embraced the full-length version despite its extended runtime, proving that audiences were hungry for music that took risks. The song became a staple of album-oriented rock radio and helped establish the template for what would later be called classic rock. Its influence can be heard in countless songs that followed, yet none have managed to capture its unique combination of accessibility and mystery.
Still those voices are calling from far away.
Nearly 50 years later, Hotel California remains as captivating as ever. It's a song that rewards repeated listening, revealing new details and interpretations with each encounter. Whether you hear it as a commentary on the music industry, a meditation on American excess, or simply as a masterpiece of musical storytelling, it continues to resonate with new generations of listeners. In a year full of remarkable music, it stands as the ultimate achievement, a perfect fusion of technical skill, creative vision, and emotional impact that reminds us why 1976 was such an extraordinary year for popular music.
Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
These 10 songs from 1976 represent more than just hit records. They're snapshots of a year when music was changing rapidly and artists were pushing boundaries in every direction. From disco to rock to soul, these tracks captured the spirit of their time while creating something that would last forever. Each of these songs tells a story, not just in their lyrics, but in their sound. They represent artists at the peak of their powers, taking risks and creating music that connected with millions of listeners. Nearly 50 years later, they still have the power to transport us back to that magical year, when anything seemed possible in popular music. If you enjoyed this trip back to 1976, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more musical journeys through the decades. What's your favorite song from 1976? Let us know in the comments below and keep the music playing.